On the fourth day of Christmas, I made another stream. You hear that yelling? Already. It started. I'm doing a stream. What's up?
I just want to show you this real quick.
Okay. Come on the video and say hello.
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Bubba, you want to come here and say hello? I'm watching Squid Games. It's very slow. I'm like an episode and a half in. I know they need to make it different and build it up, but the first episode felt like the epilogue of season 1. Oh, boy. Cowboy man. Come here, say hello. Can you say Merry Christmas? What's your name? What's your name? Ella. It's not a trick question. Ella. Ready? I love you, Ella.
I love Daddy.
Oh, I love you, Ella. Oh, yeah, there's good kisses from Ella Brooke. You gonna wave hello? You're not being that sneaky there, girl. You're not being that sneaky. All right, go play. Come here, Stinker. Hey, Stinker. You want to say, hey, Forrest. You want to come here? No. He had his, he was the working man today. He had his gear on. And there he is with his work goggles and everything. The working man with his little 2-belt on, doing work around the house, as they do. Yeah. But anyway, yes.
Real quick. Lauren is coming over in about an hour and a half.
Okay.
I'm gonna start working on straightening up the girls' room so I can start moving Ella up.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And then I'm supposed to get that Spider-Man bed from Stephanie.
Okay.
I guess today. Or tomorrow.
All right.
But, okay.
All right. So there you go.
Hey, can you pick up the
2.5 hours.
Where's the game? Can you put it with the game?
Anyway, so yeah, trying to watch Squid Games is not easy. Like I said,
See that box back
an
there?
episode and a half in, I'm just not feeling. I want to get to the games, right? Of course, that's what the whole Squid Games is all about. And I understand they want to do something different, but it's just a slow burn, slow start. It's funny. I've been up for 2.5 hours. So now is when they want to come up here. I thought, it's super quiet. I'll go ahead and do a stream. And then suddenly I hit it. Now everyone wants to come up and talk to me. It's weird because you could have talked to me for 2.5 hours. But now everyone wants to give me messages and stuff. So let's see. What else? Well, of course, there's a game night tonight for me. That is a celebration, as you heard from the missus. Her sister's coming over. And she got a present for her that she's so excited about to show her. So that'll be fun. And then I guess we're moving my little girl, the youngest girl who was just on here, up to the girls' room. So she's going to sleep with her big sisters. And then my wife wants my little boy up there too. She doesn't want anyone downstairs anymore, which is going to be a mistake because he's got to move downstairs eventually because there's only one bathroom up here and the girls are going to take it over. So he's going to have to move back. So why not just keep him in his room downstairs with us instead of having to move him all the way up there just to move him back 1-2 years later? Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so she, the youngest there that you saw, is very excited that she is moving in with her sisters and everything. So excited. I had a interesting chat. I see Luke is still chatting on my board game video. So that was really interesting. and about publishers and everything. I like doing those. I have several subjects to talk about with board games, and so that's been a fun series to put together. I am playing a new game I got for Christmas tonight, so that'll be another one I get to test out and see how it's played. I believe I already announced I'm doing a Hot Ones challenge. It is going to happen New Year's Eve. We're getting the logistics down. No one knows how to make buffalo wings. Shouldn't you just put them in a deep fryer and just fry them? I mean, I've never done them either, but I can try. If they trust me, I'll do it. And then, yeah, we've got the days pretty much planned out here. But it looks like I can do these streams pretty regularly, hopefully. Maybe not for a full hour every time. I'll probably cut this one short. But yeah, so I can do maybe 12 days of streams. That would be fun, right? Now, our the mystery guest. Let's see. I continually send an invite to our mystery guest who was working last night. So mystery guest is going to be sent. Hello. We'll get the 4th day of Christmas here. You want to say hello to everyone? You want to say Merry Christmas? Say it to the camera right there.
Merry Christmas.
Oh boy, really quick Christmas. I'm doing these. There we go. Uh-oh. Let's type that in there. So we'll send in our mystery guest there. So let's see. Hello, Tanner. Hello, Aglu. What up? Merry Christmas. Yeah, I try to do these at different times. And right now I can do them in the daytime. So a lot of them will be, I'm hoping, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow will be an afternoon, probably. If I'm going to do any time on Sunday, it's going to be an afternoon. That'd be about it. Maybe a very early Sunday. And then Monday can be about any time in the day. Tuesday can be early morning. Wednesday can be early. But then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those would have to be later on in the evenings. There. Yeah, dinner theater stories. I got another dinner theater story. I have several. I thought we'd done a podcast on this, and then I don't think we did, though. I don't think I did do one on all the reactions and stuff and all my favorite moments. But there were quite a few. There was one guy who got drunk, and midway through the show, he walked up to me. We were doing the show. Like I was in the middle of a line, and he comes up, he goes, Count Varney. And he hugs me. He goes, hey man, I gotta go. But this has been great. I had so much fun today. It has been so much, but I gotta go. I was like, what is going on here? I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay. And then he just walked on out. The dude just walked on out. And I was like, who let him in? I was just going nuts. And then there's a scene later on at the end where I chased the sound girl. We had a girl who was playing sound, and I accuse her of, making a ruckus in the castle, and I chase her out the door. And so she runs out the door, and as she runs out the door, I'm supposed to say, I'm going to bite you so hard, your grandparents will feel it, or something like your mother will feel like she's in labor again. That's how hard I'm going to bite you, that your mother will feel like you're in labor again. But then I said, I'm going to bite you so hard. Oh, by the way, watch out for the drunk guy. And everyone just fell out laughing. I mean, it was seriously, there was every night there was someone. There's one guy, I'm introducing people, and his name was Greg. I remember I said, "What's your name?" Greg. Greg, you seem very excited to be here. He went, "I am." And I don't know if he was kidding or what, but then he became a fixture. I started picking on him. Then everyone in the cast, because after a while, if the cast interacts in a dinner theater, a lot of dinner theaters we do, they interact with the audience. So everyone gravitated toward Greg, and almost the whole night was about him. And we started ad-libbing and putting lines where we would reference Greg or ask Greg a question, who would just blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't know if he was just playing a character or if that's just who he is, but he didn't seem excited. He didn't seem mad. He didn't seem, happy that we kept picking him out. You're like, I don't know. I don't know who killed him. I mean, he would just be like so just nonchalant about the whole thing. And whether he was just acting like that just to get a laugh or he just generally just had that attitude, I don't know. But either way, I thought he was hilarious. The old lady I talked about last night, though, she was probably my favorite. There was a lot of good moments, though. There's a little girl, and usually I want my plays, I want them to be fun for the whole family. But some of the vampire ladies wanted to cuss a lot, and that's not in the script, not in my script, or make innuendos. It's not my script because, like I said, I want to make it family friendly. I want the whole family to come, and so I was worried seeing a little girl there, and I reminded the rest of the crew. I said, "Hey guys, there's a little girl here. She's so sweet. You'll need to go say hello." And I was just trying to let them know that there's family here. And because one time we did a friends and family, and my kids were there, and of course the guy let off a stream of obscenities, and I was like, "Come on, seriously?" Just trying to. You're trying to, when you do something like that, you're basically just trying to go the cheap route for a laugh, in my opinion. And he apologized later on to the family, but so I just try to remind him just to kind of, there's children here present. So I go up to the child and we hit it off, man. I'm like fist bumping her and everything. And she told me that she brought a little kitty cat, stuffed kitty cat. I said, "Who's your kitty cat?" "She's a vampire." No, it was a bunny, a stuffed bunny rabbit. But she told me she was a vampire bunny and he's going to bite you. And I was like, "Don't bite me, vampire bunny." And of course, we had a great time, and I wanted to make sure the parents were okay, because when some of the lines, they're just going to say them anyway because they think it gets a cheap laugh. But it's funny because they changed up a lot of the script to where I'd love to do the show again, but do it the right way, the way I envisioned. Now, again, I gave the director said, "Can I change things?" I was like, "Sure." So I gave him permission, and I kept my mouth shut, and that's fine. He wanted his own vision, but it wasn't the vision I wanted. And the show could have been, in my opinion, way better if it had stuck more genuine to the script. But I mean, again, it went well. Everyone enjoyed it. So it wasn't like it was like a catastrophe. It's just me being the writer. You always feel like, well, this is not my vision. And I used to direct everything I wrote. Like the other play, they're talking about I wrote a Christmas play a long time ago. This is not a dinner theater. It's an actual play. I wrote it for the local theater. But what happened was during Christmas time, it's hard to get the right actors. And I didn't feel we had a good cast. So I just asked if the Strauss could cancel, and they did. And we just never brought it back. It's been in talks of coming back. But now one group is very serious because getting a good Christmas show is kind of hard. And they want one. And then, of course, my wife is on the board of both. I think this is the children's theater now that's interested in it. And it's good because it's fit for children, of course. But they want to look at the script, and they want to also know if I'll direct it. I'd love to direct it. I've never directed kids before. Like, this is like high school and younger. High school, probably to middle school. I don't know the age ranges on those, but it's not that I wouldn't mind doing that. That's just something different that I haven't done before. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, there's a lot of good dinner theater stories I've had in the past. Like one, I played a superhero. It was the most I've ever gotten in shape. I mean, I'm not a method actor, but I decided that if I was going to be a superhero, I have to hit the weights. And I did. and I was in the best shape. Like I showed the director, I could do 1-arm pull-ups by the time the show started. Because I got on the, he had one of those little pull-up bars on his doorway. I said, watch this. And I grabbed it with one hand and started doing 1-arm push-ups. He went, dang. I was like, well, if I'm going to be a superhero, I got to have the guns. And so I had a lot of upper body strength. And it paid off because sure enough, people thought it was fake. They thought my muscles are fake. And I had them feel them. They're like, oh, wow, you know. So had the muscles for that. Boy, I'm not taking on that role again. I am going to get a gym membership sometime next week. And just like every other bozo, on January 1st, you know, there's so many people that are in the gyms from January to March that it's hard to get anything done. But I'm going to brave it. I'm going to brave it because I feel like I need the ellipticals, the bikes, I need the cardio stuff. There's not a good home elliptical you can buy. So anyway, should you make more expanded universe videos? Should you make them? Sure. I guess you make them. You make expanded universe videos. Is that are you Rodimus Prime on YouTube? Is that your channel name? Let me see. Rodimus Prime 21. Let's see. Rodimus Prime 21. There you go. Okay, you made one about your comic book collection. There you go. Showing off your comic book collection. Awesome. Yeah, sure. Why not? If people like watching it, you like making them. Yeah, buddy, says NCG. Yeah, buddy. I should have done this early in the morning now that I think about it, because I think more people from overseas could have caught on to it. Like I was up at what? Well, I slept in, so it was like 7:30. I woke up at 7 and 7:30 I got out of bed. I was on my phone. But I could have done it earlier. Maybe I'll do an early one. I don't know. Maybe that would be fun because there's someone else that I'm trying to get on, and they can do early in the morning. If I do early in the morning, they can do early in the morning. So I may do that. But anyway, can't remember where I was talking about that. The Mrs. birthday is coming up. It's going to be on Monday. I don't know. We kind of already celebrated the dinner part. Both of her presents did arrive. One present arrived. It said it arrived anywhere between December. I ordered this December 5th, and it said it will arrive December 26th to December 31st. And I was like, I ordered it December 5th. They can't get it to me before Christmas. And sure enough, it came the day after Christmas. It arrived. So does that mean if I would have ordered December 4th, it would have arrived before Christmas? I don't know. It's kind of wild, though, because I thought a lot of these, made to order things, you do have to wait a few weeks. But this one seemed very simple. And it really isn't. I'll be honest. I'm disappointed in the product. I really don't like the what I got. I think it just doesn't look that good. So, I'll never order from them again. But if that took weeks of putting together, I don't know what you're doing. I think you need to rethink your business. Newcomer to Star Trek and got the original series on Blu-ray for Christmas. You're a newcomer? Tanner, the original series is my favorite. It's dated. It's from the 60s, but it's just great. There's so many good, thoughtful episodes. And to be honest, if you can find it, I know it's probably on Paramount Plus. But they actually continue. It only goes for 3 seasons. It's supposed to be a 5-year mission. So that in the 70s, they came out with a cartoon series that kind of completes the rest of their journey. and it's voiced by all the same actors, except for Chekhov. They didn't have enough money to add him onto the cast, so instead they let him write and direct an episode. And but it was words only. You know, the cast came and provided their voices. The writers from the original show wrote for it, and to be honest, as a cartoon, it actually is pretty good. It's in line with, now the animation is that 70s animation that's not that good, but it's in line with the feel of the original series, which I really did love. But that's my favorite. Hello, Josh the Nerd. We're doing good. We're doing good. Talking Star Trek, of all things. But I love the original series. That means the most to me. Farscape is greater than Star Trek, says Tony. I like Farscape, but I think Star Trek is better. But if you're talking new Star Trek isn't that good. Picard season 3 was the only, not season 1 and 2, but season 3 is the only thing I've enjoyed. I'm basically done with Star Trek. New Star Trek I don't watch. But old Star Trek, like I love The Next Generation is really good. Deep Space Nine is excellent. I like Deep Space Nine slightly better than Next Generation. It's probably my second favorite next to the original series. And then after that, it's going to be Enterprise over Voyager. The sad thing about Voyager is garbage, except when it's an episode that focuses on the Doctor. When it's an episode that focuses on the hologram Doctor, it's excellent. But sadly, that only happens one every 6 episodes or something. So you don't get that much love. I don't think there's a good Voyager episode that doesn't feature the Doctor, in my opinion. Hello, Obsidian Kite. Marcel says Deep Space Nine is his favorite, followed by the original series. I love Deep Space Nine. The original series is my favorite, and Deep Space Nine is my second. But it's funny because back in the day, I had a roommate back when Next Generation and what was the other one? Next Generation was playing and Deep Space Nine. And I didn't watch Deep Space Nine. I wasn't interested in it. I was like, that looks like garbage. And I never watched it. And my roommate at the time, he said, hey, I love Deep Space Nine. I think it's better than Next Generation. I was like, you are crazy. There is no way, because I refused to watch it. But I said, there is no way that Deep Space Nine is better than Next Generation. And then I finally got to watch it. And I was like, it is pretty good. And for years, I had it right below Next Generation. Then I had it even with Next Generation. And now it ranks above Next Generation. But the Ferengi make that a case. Who is that other actor? The Ferengi in he's the man of a million faces, makeup. Oh, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now. But Jeffrey Combs. Man, the different characters he plays in that is just so good. So that series is really good. There's a lot of comedic moments. And watching it again a few years back, I had to make the call that Deep Space Nine was the better one. Though I love both of them. Let's see. Voyager's pretty good, but Berman made the writers write worse intentionally and made the most of the leading actors less or awful. Yeah, really? Because he self-sabotaged that show. It's sad because I liked Enterprise, by the way. I thought Enterprise was really good. You know, I know Enterprise is the one that people didn't like the most out of the original series, but I thought Enterprise is great. And I always wish Deep Space Nine could have gotten their movie. I wish they could have gotten their movie. They deserved a movie. Deep Space Nine, I can't think of a character I thought was boring. I enjoyed every character in Deep Space Nine. It was really good. Really good. Most anticipated movies of the year. We're going to do that on Saturday Morning Sound Flange, the second Saturday in January. But I do have my list. He wanted Voyager to be background noise because he thought it would get more viewers. Oh, wow, that's sad. Well, I mean, goal achieved. It's really not that good. It's really not that good. And it's sad because I thought The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine were really solid and held the quality up of Star Trek as a brand. The quality was high. And the first time you see it lowered, in my opinion, is Voyager. The lady who got me, Enterprise is excellent, says Marcel. Good. They sabotaged Voyager because he thought it was dull. A duller Star Trek would get more non-Trekkie fans. Well, he was wrong on that, right? Goodness gracious, that was such a dull. You have to make it interesting. Star Trek is you just make interesting episodes. Is what you do. But Star Trek, as the lady who got me into Star Wars by accident, is a Star Trek fan. I say by accident. She went to the bookstore on my 13th birthday to buy me a Star Trek book. She couldn't find it, so she bought me Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire that was out instead, because she knew I also liked Star Wars. But I was becoming a Trekkie because I was going over to her house. It still is my dad's secretary. I was going over to her house and we were watching a few episodes, and I was reading some of the old books too, Star Trek books. But she will tell you her favorite is the original series, even though she does have love for The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. But when it came to Voyager, she was excited for a female captain, but was so disappointed in Janeway, who was a big nothing burger. You know, she quickly realized that Janeway was a nothing burger. And why couldn't Janeway fall in love, wear her emotions on her sleeve? Why she had to be uptight and bitter and, distant? But that made her less characteristic. Like they should have given her a love interest, given her something. And she said she would have embraced her femininehood or whatnot. And it was interesting to hear her talk about it because there was a lot of potential, in her opinion, with having a female captain. They just booted it. Why have a female captain and not have a love story? Get more women into Star Wars, right? And I was like, that's actually true. That's actually true because you had all the guys who could do the war and the other stories, but have a love story as the lead. I was like, that's true. I don't know what she thought of Enterprise. I can't recall, but I think after Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, I think she was checked out, and she doesn't watch any of the new stuff. She shakes her head at the new stuff. So she's an old school Trekkie. Have you seen the channel Skywalker Stories? Well-made AI creations of Star Wars characters have deep conversations at its book scenes and what-if scenarios. No, I have not. Skywalker Stories, huh? Let's check it out. Skywalker Stories. Well, he's got a lot of okay. There you go. Let's up. Let me look at a little bit of a clip there. Is it AI he's using or video games? Yes, AI. Yeah. Okay. All right. Neat. Star Trek is all about the great leading characters and the big ones. Why 24 and it's why 2, 4, and 6 are the best Star Trek films. Yeah. It's the old odd even analogy, where every odd Star Trek movie is terrible, where every even one was good, and that is the truth. I mean, 1 is just so boring and so drab and not Star Trek, and then 2, they got it. 3 is so light and fluffy. It doesn't feel Star Wars. It's missing its gravitas, but they get into their groove in 4, And then 5 is totally off the mark, but then nail it on the landing in 6. So have you seen what was the fan film that came out? It's excellent. Was it Legacy? Star Trek Legacy? Reunion? Unification? I can't remember now. It was so good I forgot the title. Where it takes place after Kirk dies and goes into the afterlife. It's kind of neat. You couldn't get into OG Star Wars. I mean, if you like Stargate and Farscape and stuff like that, it has that 90s sci-fi feel to it. And if you like that, then yes. Yes. Just depends on whether you're into that, right? It's not going to be like a Battlestar Galactica, which is a good thing. Next Generation is a great starting point for anyone, probably. I mean, I'm obviously biased. I grew up watching the original series on TV back as a kid, reruns. It was one of the few times we were allowed to eat around the TV with a dinner tray, TV dinner tray and everything. And man, that was a special moment when you could eat in front of the TV. That hardly ever happened to us. We rarely ate in front of the TV. But when my dad would be gone some nights, he wasn't coming home for dinner, my mom would get the TV trays out and we'd sit because Star Trek would come on around dinner time. And so we'd eat dinner and watch Star Trek. And that right there cemented as my favorite show of all time back in the day. So I still have those. I even can tell you what episodes I was watching when I was and what I was eating. We were having meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and peas when they were stranded on the planet, and that beast with the spears that were throwing spears at them, those monsters were throwing spears at him, and it killed, of course, the guy in the red shirt. I remember what I was eating at that time too. Some episodes I can tell you what we had to eat. Fried chicken on the episode where they're out in the Wild West. You know, they're out in the saloon in the Wild West. No. It wasn't that one. That was the one where there are no adults, only kids. In a town. I remember we were eating fried chicken that night. So yeah. So I mean, I remember all this stuff. I remember exactly what I was eating. So there's a lot of good memories tied in there. But I also think some of the heavier stories were in the original series. Now it's 60s, right? So it's kind of hard to get into it. But still, it has some of the best episodes I've ever seen. Star Trek Continues, a fan film series. Oh, really? Okay. Unification. Yeah. Sam Whitaker. Yeah, I remember that. He plays Kirk, but they deep faked his face over him. Yeah. Really good stuff. Yeah, it was professionally done too. You recently got the original Battlestar Galactica on Blu-ray. Looking forward to watching it. Love the revivals. I like the first season of Battlestar Galactica. The second season was okay. The third season was meh, and the fourth season was garbage. The original series of Battlestar Galactica, I remember being fun, but to be honest, I haven't rewatched it. Like there was a few reruns back in the day, or maybe I was watching it, and I thought it was like a cheap ripoff of Star Wars back when I saw it. I was like, oh, those look kind of like X-Wings, or that looks like art, everything looks kind of like something else. The Cylons are kind of like stormtroopers, in my opinion. Now, I haven't seen the original series in forever, though. So maybe I should watch that. Maybe I try to watch a classic show, and I think the old Battlestar Galactica is classic now. Maybe I will give that a shot. I'm trying to make it through Squid Game season 2 before I make a decision on where I go, what I watch next. The Blu-ray allows you to switch between the original and remastered. Tanner, doesn't the Blu-ray also have deleted scenes from the original show? I think it did. I think Rich Hanley told me that because he told me, because when he bought it on Blu-ray, he said it's so weird to see these deleted scenes and think, oh my gosh, like it wasn't like they were great, but like this is something I haven't seen with the original characters. And that's what I used to get him to give Joe his finished, he and Newcomb's, their finished, their unpublished short story. I said, well, that's exactly how people would feel if you brought out your short story. They'd be like, wow, this isn't like the best thing I've ever read, but it's something I haven't read before. And it's a continuation of a story I know, and that's interesting. And so he admitted that was a good point, and he brushed it up with Charlene Newcomb, and they handed it to Joe. It was the one short story I can take credit for that it got published. Everything else is Joe. And who knows? Maybe Joe talked Rich into it more. Maybe Rich changed his mind again, and Joe was the tipping. But I remember I made that point to Rich on the phone. We were talking on the phone. We used to talk a lot. I have not called him in over a year now, and that's my fault. But I used to talk to Rich a lot. He's such a great guy. He's such a great guy. I wish he'd come to Legends Con. I need to call him and ask him to come. I only want Rich Hanley to come to Legends Con because I want to have dinner with him and Joe and no one else. I'm sorry, I'm selfish. No one else, because I just those guys are just great. I've not seen the Orville, but I hear it's like the old shows, just a lot more humorous. But I've not seen it. Hey, Scott. But anyway, we're talking Star Trek of all things. I do have some original, I say original, but back in the 90s when they reprinted the med kit, the tricorder, and the phaser. I think I have a tricorder and phaser toy. And what was a little medical thing he had. I think I all have that in a box somewhere because this lady gave me all of this stuff because her kids weren't into Star Trek and I was. So she gifted them all these toys. They played with it for a little while but didn't care for it. And so she gave it all to me. Now I was in late teens, like I wasn't playing toys anymore, but I accepted it. And I still found the phaser in a box the other day and some other older Star Trek toys that's still in the package, but I mean, it's like bent. I mean, they're like curved because they've been sitting in corners and whatnot. So I don't think they're worth that much, but the one thing that she had that I really wanted was a die-cast metal, big, huge Enterprise D ship with a detachable head. But I remember that thing was so heavy and so it was die-cast metal, big, I mean, crafted and everything, etchings in it and everything. It felt so cool to hold. And I remember when I came over to her house back in the day when we play, I'd grab that ship and just fly around the room with it. I thought that was thing. And I was really hoping she had that to give me, but I didn't ask for it. She didn't give it to me. Maybe she kept it. I'm sure if she had it now, she'd give it to me because she didn't keep much around. Her husband passed away a few years ago, so she's a widow now, and all her kids have moved out of the house. So now that I say it that way, I feel bad. Maybe I should invite her to come over and play and watch Star Trek with me. Watch it, son. He tried to jerk the cables out, trying to get a toy out. Hey, you want to come here and say Merry Christmas? Do you think Karen Travis wouldn't come to Legends Con? I wouldn't mind if she came, but she's done with Star Wars. What's your favorite movie of this year? Saturday Morning Samoflange just came out, and I announced what my favorite movie. Oh, you did unplug it, you little jerk. Hold on. He unplugged the power. Hold on. This thing was already about to die. Oh, what did you do? Oh, there it is. Okay. He unplugged the power here. It was dying anyway because I had to plug it in to watch Squid Games. And then I thought, you know what? Let me just do a stream right now. But I believe, let me look at, let me go to my channel. Where is it? Oh, view my channel. Yeah, top 5 movies of 2024. Saturday Morning Samoflange came out. Here, Bubba, come here. When you were growing up, Channel 50 was on my cable box. It would play episodes of the original series. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Say Merry Christmas. Are you a working man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what did you have to drink last night? Doctor
Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. He would sit there, he'd sip it and go, Dr. Pepper. Say it.
Dr. Pepper.
He was so happy to be drinking Dr. Pepper at night. And this dude was wired for sound, man. Top popular music for the year. Michael, I don't keep up with any music. I would not know music anymore. There comes a time in your life when you stop listening to the radio and stop listening to music. And by the way, if you don't listen to radio anymore, how do you listen to new bands? Used to be the radio gave you a mix of stuff and you'd find a new band that way and follow them. But now you would just follow your favorite bands and people who, open up for them at concerts or sound similar. Like I have a wide range of musicians and bands I like, but that's because of the radio back in the day. The radio gave you a variety of things you normally wouldn't listen to, but you gave a shot at. A shot at. I wonder how you listen to new music. That's interesting. Interesting comment. I don't know what the kids are doing these days. But anyway, my favorite bands, Newfound Glory. I like Family Force 5, which isn't around. They broke up. It's sad because they're just excellent. Weezer, of course. I love Weezer. And then I listen to a lot of, what's it called? Instrumental epic scores. Epic North. Two Steps from Hell. I play those all the time when we're playing Twilight Imperium and some other games too, because I love them. A lot of music soundtracks, movie soundtracks, a lot. Classical music gets played a lot. That's the kind of stuff I listen to. What was it? Well, if I look it up now, it's going to be all Christmas. I was going to say, let me look up and see what I usually listen to, but it's been all Christmas stuff right now. So, well, let me see what I have on my favorites, though. Hold on, because that'll tell me. Where is it? Well, I don't want albums, idiot. Let me go with artist. Oh, geez, I shouldn't have gone with artist. There's too many here. Reliant K is fun. Hot Chili Ray Ray, I haven't listened to them forever. Zebrahead, I do love. I haven't listened to Zebrahead in forever, but Zebrahead I used to love. Geez. Yeah, a lot of modern day composers are on here. President of the United States, I'll listen to their album every once in a while. James Taylor, of course, it's from my dad. I get that from dad. So yeah, there's a few. From word of mouth, you find it from word of mouth. You're going to College Museum, get some crazy cool stuff. Yeah, I guess that's all you have to do. But I mean, nowadays, I'd have to look at something similar. Like, Amazon will suggest similar music bands you like. And I'll try to, look up and see if there's any bands that I like. And a lot of times it doesn't make the case. But, well, if I'm in the car, I do have the patience to sit and listen to a few. I'll listen to a few songs. And if there's one that's like highly rated, I'll listen to that first. Because, that's their best song, right? And if their best song fails with me, I'm not listening to anything else. And it's sad because sometimes some of the best tracks on an album aren't the hit, in my opinion. Like for some weird reason, on a Zebrahead album, track number 4 is always my favorite. Now, that did change as they went on, but for like the first 3 or 4 albums, track number 4 was always I was always interested in what does track number 4 sound like. And for some reason, track number 4 was just my jam. And but I think in the later albums it wasn't. But for the longest, it was kind of weird that track number 4, whatever it was on the album, was usually my favorite one. Oh, what was the other one? Saliva. Used to listen to Saliva a lot. In fact, Welcome to the Show is something I still listen to right before when I'm going out on stage. I'll pump myself up with Welcome to the Show. I think that's Saliva. But it's just so great. What is that? Who gave you that?
We just collected. Bye.
You just collected it? Okay. We're getting more junk. I don't know who's here. Someone was supposed to come here and deliver a Spider-Man bed. And maybe my sister-in-law is here, but I doubt my sister-in-law would have given that to them. It looks like a bunch of just junk toys and Ziploc bags. People drop off like clothes. There's one girl, her name used to be the same name as my wife's. And it's so funny because she has red hair, looks nothing like my wife. But I went to go give flowers to my wife, and I asked for my wife's name, and they brought this girl out. Now, I had no idea who this was. She looked at me. I was holding flowers. I looked at her like this, and she walked back in the back and told the lady at the front desk, she went, I don't know who that is. And I went, oh, no. I said, the other girl. That's my wife. They said, oh. They said, well, no one ever asked for her because my wife worked in the back, and this other girl was a nurse. And it was so funny because I remember she opened the door, and this redheaded girl comes out, looks at me like, and I looked at her like, what? Like, yeah, instantly, if you're going to be staring down me, I'm going to stare down you. And it's the funniest thing. And she comes by all the time now to drop off stuff to my wife. And she got married. So now her last name is different. But we don't, and I've seen her, I've said hello, and that's all we've ever said to each other. Not that I hate her and she didn't hate me, but I say, hey, Megan. She goes, hey. And then walks on, talks to my wife. I know nothing about her. She's here all the time. Oh, I say all the time. She's here every 2-3 months. She drops by to drop off clothes or something. Because she has a girl that's a little bit older. And so she'll just bag up the clothes every 3 months and give them to my wife. Or we will see her in town because she does a lot of arts craft stuff now. I don't even know if she does. She works as a nurse anymore. I think she does arts craft stuff now. But either way, we'll see her at art shows and whatnot. And I'll say hello. She'll say hello back. And then she and my wife will talk and I'll go somewhere else. But after that one instance where we stared each other down, I said, did she ever talk about that? Did she remember the first time we met? She went, oh, yeah, she laughs about it. We laugh about it. I went, okay. And I've never mentioned it to her, but I still feel like, maybe we need to talk about that because you stared me down for no reason. I mean, yes, here comes this weird guy with flowers, but shouldn't you have said, I think you want the other Megan? I think you probably, because they were in the same building, so she should have known. Anyway, I'm over it. I just think it's funny that she's there and we just say hello. That's it. And then she goes in and talks to my wife. He was into tape. A buddy of yours was into tape trading through magazines. Tape in a metal song. Wow. That's interesting, Josh the Nerd. Happy holidays, Mozone. In fact, happy holidays. I think I'm about to wrap this one up today. Since the other one went a little bit long, this one will go a little bit short. Probably come back, do these streams. This is a lot of fun. Maybe do them earlier before I start doing them late again at my regular time. But Merry Christmas. Merry 4th day of Christmas here. And yes, more stuff is coming in. So someone is obviously here. Who's here? Who's here?
No.
Anyway. All right, guys. I will see. There it is. There. My sister-in-law's here. So I'm going to say hello to her. But anyway, guys, have a great day today. And I will see you probably, if I can, most likely tomorrow for another stream. Never done a Sunday stream before. That's the busiest day of the week for me. But anyway, we'll see how it works out. All right. Ta-ta for now, everyone. See you later.